Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles and welcome to Motivational Monday. Every Monday I go over any scriptures, quotes, sayings, experiences from my life or experiences that you guys send in to go over and give us motivation and inspiration for the week. So if you are interested, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed and let's get right into the video. So you guys, the quote that I'm choosing today is stick with it even on bad days. You know, the question that I really want to start this video out with is how quick are you to throw in the towel? You know, how quick are you to give up on your passion? So many times we talk about the lack of support from friends, the lack of support from family, the lack of support from the community. And we have to step back and say, you know, how much are we supporting ourselves? And so this is what this video is going to be about. You know, how quick are we to give up on what we worked for? How quick are we to give up on what we actually want to achieve? And how quick are we to settle for what we're used to and what's convenient? And so the first thing that I'm going to go over is, you guys, I'm going to be looking down. I wrote myself notes like I typically do. But the first thing that I'm going to go over is don't be quick to give in. You know, allow yourself to learn and grow. We can be our worst critics. You know how many people I talk to over, via YouTube, maybe in the comments, or even via email, or even in real life that say, my business is not going how I want it to go, and I'm really considering not doing it anymore. You know, I'm considering not, and I always have to ask them, is this something that you really want to do? Because if it is, how quick are you to give up on your dreams? Yes, it hurts when other people don't support you, but if you're not your biggest supporter, if you don't even have faith in what you can do, you can't expect anyone else to see that either. You have to stick with it, even on the days that it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, Also, I want to touch on giving ourselves time to learn. It's okay to be a beginner, you guys. Remember, think way back to when you were a child and when you were riding your bike. You know, I would see a lot of the big kids ride past and they would be doing wheelies, and they would have people on pegs, and they would be doing tricks, and they would be riding with no hands and doing a whole bunch of stuff that I couldn't do. And as a child, I still have my training wheels on my bike, and I'm like, wow, I can't wait to be a big kid. I can't wait until I can do the tricks. And I would go outside and I would get all hyped up, My mom would come home. We had a new bike for you. So I would say, okay, tomorrow's the day that I'm going to go out and be great. Tomorrow's the day that I'm going to be like these big kids. And I get out there, I get on my training wheels, and I ride. I'm riding. I'm like, okay, great. I mastered this step in an hour. Okay, mom, take these training wheels off. Let me really show you what I can do. So the training wheels would come off, and I would get on the bike, and I would start, and I would fall. Get back up. Start again, go a little bit further, and fall again. And I would get discouraged because I'm like, how do these people know? I mean, the whole neighborhood knew how to ride bikes with no hands. And here I am sitting here struggling, just trying to ride down my driveway. And so if I would have given up, I would have never gotten to that point. And so when I say, you can't really compare yourself, like I say in a lot of videos, to everyone else's progress. You don't know how long those kids have been riding bikes. You don't know how long these people have been in business. You don't know what they've gone through. You don't know their experiences. You don't know what type of bike they're riding on. You don't know any of this. All you're doing is you're looking at, okay, I can't do it, but they can. But you're not really taking into consideration, I just started. I literally just had my training wheels on, but now I'm riding down the driveway without any training wheels. That's a huge step. Also in business, hey, I literally just had a thought, and now my thought is actually a website. Give yourself props for that. I literally just had a vision, and now, or a vision for my logo, and now my logo is actually on a business card. That's a huge step. I feel like we don't give ourselves credit, and instead of comparing ourselves, okay, I'm still on training wheels, they're not. I can't ride even with two hands. They can ride with. Let's stop doing that. Let's really celebrate in our success and where we're at. Just because your business is not taking off as fast as you want it to go does not mean that it's not going the speed that it needs to go. We have to realize that time is not always on our side. It's really not. It's not always about when you feel that things should happen. Things happen a lot of times when they need to happen. You know what I mean? You have to grow into that position. You have to grow into that industry. You have to grow into what you're doing. And so although we want overnight success, like I say in every video, sometimes a lot of times it's a great thing that it doesn't happen overnight because we learn so much along the way. And so I'm just saying, allow yourself to be a beginner. Allow yourself to fall down a couple of times without being so down on yourself, without going and putting that bike up. I fail a couple of times, so I'm done with it. No, stick with it. You'll get the hang of it. I mean, if a lot of people are doing it, if you want to compare yourself to everyone else and you're saying everyone else is doing this, if everyone else is doing it, then the chances are pretty soon you'll get it too, right? Right? I mean, if everyone in the community is riding with no hands, pretty soon I'll get it too. And I'm not saying to compare yourself, but if you are going to compare yourself anyways, have that type of mentality. If everyone else is doing it, then it should be something that I can do too. Maybe not on their time, but if I keep working on it in my time, it's going to happen for me when it should happen for me. The next thing I want to go over is, how much are your dreams worth to you? You know, I talk to a lot of people. So I do email consultations. So if you are interested in an email consultation, feel free to visit my website, and you can read more about the consultations that I offer. But I speak with people, or I write people, and they're like, this is my concern with my business. And I may follow back up with some people, and I may say, hey, how's it going? How do you feel since our last consultation? How are things moving along? And, things like that. And some people say, I'm doing everything, but my sales are not where I want them to be. Where I've done everything, I've sold a little bit more, but I'm not where I want to be in my business. And so I've just taken a break. I've just decided to stop for a minute and just focus on something else. And you have to ask yourself, I can't want your dreams more than you want them for yourself. I cannot want you to be successful more than you want, or I should not want you to be more successful than you want success for yourself. It's the same analogy when you're helping your kids with homework. You're sitting down. I know for me, for an example, they come home with different math. And I'm like, first of all, I wasn't the best in math anyways when I was in school. But now they come back with, it seems like new math. It's new math, a new way to do it. And I'm like, okay, it's going to take me a second to break it down into the way that I typically do math and try to sit here and explain it to my children. I don't even want to do that, because I want to, teach them in the way that they're being taught at school, and I also want to show them some other ways. And so it can take some time to sit down there and say, what's the best way for me to teach them this math strategy? But I have to remind my kids, this is something that you should want to do. Not just because I want you to do it, not just because you're going to get a reward if you come home with an A, but this is why it's good to get good grades, because it's setting you up for this and it's setting you up for that. And this is what you said you wanted to do in the future. So if you do this now, this is going to help make this transition more easier for you. You know what I mean? So I have to explain that to them. This is why it's important. And so it's the same in business. I can always explain why it's important, but ultimately you have to be the one that wants your dreams more than anybody else. You have to want success more than anyone. And success means different things to everyone. One person's success may mean to have, a lot of money. Another person may be successful if they say, as long as I get to spend time with my kids and not spend so much time at work, I've found success. Somebody else may say, as long as I'm doing something that I really want to do, that I feel has been put inside of me, and I'm helping other people, that's success. And so success means something to all of us. It can be different, but you have to figure out, what does success mean to me, and how much are my dreams worth? How much are they worth to me? If your dreams really aren't worth anything to you, if you're like, if it's not convenient, if it's not easy money, if it's not going to come to me on my time, on my schedule, when I feel, if you're that kind of person, you have to reconsider where your priorities are at and how important dreams are to you. I think we just have the misconception that everyone has a passion for their dreams. There's some people that will settle for not following their dreams if that means that they can take the easy route. There's some people that will do that. Jobs that I left were making great money. I made great money. And so when I would leave to do something that I wanted to do, people would look at me crazy. Is she crazy for leaving that job? Is she crazy for doing this? And like I say in all my videos, you can still work and be an entrepreneur, but you also have to follow your heart. You have to figure out, is this job the right job for me to work at this time? Do the hours work with what I'm trying to do? Is it conflicting with too much of what I'm trying to follow as far as my passion? You have to figure out what's going to work for you. Ultimately, we're all different. We all have different circumstances. And so I'm saying that I have a passion for my dreams more than anyone else. I want to succeed more than anyone else wants me to succeed, because this is something that is put inside of me. And it's something that I value. So it all depends on how much your dreams are worth to you, as far as what you're going to do to achieve those dreams. Next thing that I want to talk about is, what are you willing to sacrifice for your dreams? I feel like a lot of people, and I don't even feel like it's true. A lot of people that I speak with, they just feel that, because it's your dreams, you sacrifice time, you sacrifice money, and you're like, I've done this for a few months. Okay, it didn't work. I'm done. But you have to realize that when you're doing something, you have to be consistent with it. And so you have to continuously be willing to sacrifice. I'm not saying sacrifice to the point that you can't pay your bills, sacrifice to the point that you're not eating. But I'm saying that you are going to have to go into it with the mentality that I'm going to sacrifice. Even if you're wanting to get a certain job, there are some sacrifices that you're going to have to make, whether it be reconstructing your resume. You may not want to do it. You may not feel like doing it. It may be some sacrifices that you may have to do as far as reaching out to different resources. It may be some sacrifices you may have to do as far as staying up all night, researching different topics and educating yourself on the industry that you're wanting to go in. It's going to take sacrifice. Nothing comes easy. And so it all boils down to how much are your dreams worth to you. You can listen to videos on YouTube all day. You can listen to motivational speakers via, the radio or Pandora or whatever whatever you use. You can go to church every Sunday. You can do all this. But ultimately, if you don't have that seed implanted in you, if you don't have in your mind made up that this is something that I want to do, this is something that I'm going to do, then it's all void. It all means nothing. You have all of this information, but thinking and speaking about something, that's where it starts. Start the idea, start talking about it, but you actually have to do it. You have to start moving towards your goals, and you have to continue to move and be consistent, even if it doesn't work out how you want it to go. What did I put on this? Going back to my notes. And so I wanted to say, someone at the nail shop this weekend, or not this weekend, but on Thursday, they were like, are you riding and dying with me? Would you ride and die with me? And they were saying something, they were joking. But I thought about that. And I said, you know what? You have to be willing to ride and die for your dreams. I don't want to say die, but you know what I mean? Like, you have to be willing to ride for your dreams. Let me say that. You have to be willing to ride for your dreams, ride for what you want. How committed are we to riding with our passion? How committed are we to riding for our success? How committed are we to riding toward a better future for our children? A lot of people don't realize how important it is to set up different means and different avenues of income and revenue until you actually need it. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket, and don't give up too quickly if it doesn't come to you easy. We hear it all the time since we were kids. Things that are worth having take work. And it takes work, and it takes consistency, and it takes commitment. How committed are we to being on that ride? When you're in a ride, when you're riding, when you're in a car, and say you're traveling out of town, the ride may start off great. You may be listening to your favorite song. Everything is great. You're gassed up. You just used the bathroom. You got your snacks, your food. You're talking. You're having fun. And it's great. You get 2 hours into the drive. Now scenery may change a little bit. You're getting a little tired. Your snacks been kind of worn out. Your gas is getting a little low. So, you're going to have to pull over in a little bit, but you don't want to. Your bladder's a little bit full now. So you're kind of uncomfortable because you're holding it. And, it feels different. Okay. And then say something happens where you lose connection with your GPS. So now you're lost, and you're still riding, but the ride changes. And so at that point you have a decision. Am I going to keep riding, get some gas, release myself, get some more snacks, and get back up and get back on the road to our destination? Or are we just going to turn back around because we're closer to home than we are to our destination, and it's more comfortable if we just go home. Let's just go home. True story, you guys. Actually this weekend, my cousin had a graduation. The graduation was supposed to be like 2.5 hours away from my house. And so all of my family, we got in the car and we started driving, and we thought we were there, 2 hours. We thought we were there. And just to figure out that we drove in the wrong direction. The address that we put in was completely wrong. And we had about another 2 hours to drive. It was about 1.5 hours to 2 hours to drive. And me and my boyfriend looked at each other. We were so ready to get out the car. We've been driving with kids. We were just tired. But I was committed to seeing my cousin graduate. And although, I didn't get to make it to his graduation, I still was able to be there for his graduation dinner. And so sometimes, even if the road isn't easy, you have to choose. Am I someone that's going to say, you know what, I give up? Or does it mean that much to me to actually keep driving? It meant that much to me for my cousin to know that I supported him, that he did something great, and that I was going to be there. Even if it meant that I was going to be tired that next day, even if it meant that I was going to have to dish out money for a hotel room, which I ended up having to do, because we ended up driving 5-6 hours to this graduation that was only supposed to be 2 hours. Don't ask me how it happened. It just happened. I get a little touchy when you ask how, because I'm like, I done been in this car for 6 hours, and I was so frustrated, you guys. And then, like I said, I had my kids with me, kids traveling for a long time. They're frustrated. They're cranky. It was a experience to remember. But I know that I was happy when I saw his face. I was happy that I was able to be a part of his moment. And so that's the same kind of attitude that we have to have with our business. Yes, there are going to be some nights, or there may be some extra money that you may say, you know what, I didn't even budget for this, man. I didn't know that this was going to happen. Or, you know what, I really expected to have this much amount of money in from this sale that I did, and I didn't get halfway near my goal. And it may be sometimes that you get frustrated. Like, look, I'm traveling to an event for my business, and I ended up missing the event and I done wasted all this time. But you have to really say, you know, how committed are you to the actual goal? You know what I mean? Yes, we may go through some rough time. We are going to go through some rough times. There are going to be some times that you may not want to do it. There are going to be some times where you see everyone else passing you and everyone else is actually there and they're already excited and they're cheering and you're still like, dang, I still can't even find my destination. I've been on this road for a long time and I can't find it. You know, when I was traveling to my cousin's graduation, my mom, she lives in the same city as me. She made it in 2 hours. And like I said, we missed the graduation. We didn't get there to dinner for 5 or 6 hours. And so there were times that I was upset. You know, I'm like, how did she make it there before me? You know, we both left at the same city. But that was a great analogy because no matter where you're starting at, no matter what you're doing, you have to realize that your drive, your road to success is going to be different than anyone else's. And you know what was great for me? The feeling that my cousin had when he saw me. You know, he greeted my mom and he greeted me as well. And so that let me know that it wasn't just a package deal. It wasn't just about my mom coming. It wasn't just about me coming, but it was about everyone coming because we all have a unique place in his heart and we all mean something different. And that's the same way that we should be looking at the whole picture. You know, everyone is going down their path. And no matter how many people pass you up, no matter how many people stop on the side of the road, no matter what any other car is doing, your car is necessary to be there. Like I said in my last motivational video, there's 1 million people that are starting hair companies, but only one with your vision. There's 1 million people that are on this road to success trying to figure out what to do, but there's only one person in the car that you're driving. There's only one you in the car that you're driving. And so we have to stay committed to what we want to do and stop worrying about who's supporting us, who's doing this, who's riding with us. Are you riding for yourself? Are you going to be committed to your dreams? I don't care what it is, whether you're on a weight loss journey, whether you're trying to get a new office position, whether you're starting your hair company, whether you're starting any business out there. How committed are you to your dreams? What are you willing to sacrifice? It sounds good to get on Instagram and post a picture. It feels good to say make a long quote on Facebook. But once all that's done, what are you really committed to do to make sure that your business moves forward? What are you willing to do to move yourself towards success? How quick are you to give up on your dreams? Does it take just for you not to have a good season for you to give up? Does it take for you not to have a lot of sales that month for you to give up? You know, what is it? What is it keeping you driving? What is it? And so, you guys, the moral of this message is to stay committed. Find what you want to do. Stick with it. Don't give up on it because it doesn't seem like it's going to work out. Don't give up on it because you just, you're like, man, I done tried everything. And think of other ways. You know, the only time that I would say stop doing something is if you figure out that this is something I really don't want to do. And it's okay at that point to say, you know what, this is something I've tried. I really don't enjoy it. This is not my passion. And so I'm going to move toward my passion. That's fine. But that's the only time that I would recommend moving on to something else. Stick with what you're doing. Don't just look at the numbers. Stop comparing yourself. Stop wondering, is there a certain time where I should be successful? I get questions too all the time, hey, when did you first start making money? How many years did it take you to? And it's like, I can tell you my whole stories and I do in my videos. But at the end of the day, my story is going to be different than yours. It may take some people a week to start generating money. It may take you a whole year. But it's not a race against how fast you can make the money, but it's actually how strategic you can be in setting up a foundation that's going to put you and your family in a better, more solid financial situation. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Get started, figure out what you can, pray about it, research about it. Don't be afraid to go for your dreams. And once you are going for your dreams, remember why you're doing it and don't give up too easily. I hope this helped someone out there. I hope this provided you guys with motivation and inspiration for the week. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.